We are group of five. Now we are talking about the philosophy and the worldview of Chinese civilization in regional, the history, the process of civilization growth, and the stories of Chinese myth. First of all, I'll introduce the philosophy and the worldview of Chinese civilization. This part has been divided into parts. The first one is six heritage concepts, and then another one is three case ideas of governance. So, for the six heritage concepts, the first is Confucianism was one of the most significant systems of thought in the pre-Qin dynasty. The central concept of Confucianism is the word "ren," which originally meant to be friendly and kind to others. Over time, however, the word evolved to mean a wide range of moral concepts, including benevolent love and benevolent government, as well as human nature, governance, and love. It also deals with basic consciousness, which is another way of seeing ethics, ethics, attitude, and conduct that a normal person exhibits to advance the welfare of human society. Li is the second point. Was described as a general phrase to express reverence and originally referred to sacrifices made to gods and governors. Additionally, it refers to a gift or a token of deference. Later, it refers to traditions, practices, and laws governing proper conduct in interpersonal interactions. They played a significant role in political, cultural, and social life in ancient Chinese culture, and was frequently used as a catch-all phrase for moral codes, rights, and standard of conduct. Comes next. An old Chinese philosophical doctrine of idealism is the doctrine of the mean. The Zhongyong method is the core theory of lifestyle, professional achievement, life, and health. It consists of three levels of theory. First, it implies that life is constant and that the objective and tenets never change. Second is that a person needs to take a calm and impartial mind. Neutrality and peace can last as long as one keeps reverent and or respectful heart. Third, a person should be knowledgeable and valuable. This also means that they should maintain their position or be where they are supposed to be for their work. It is also awareness and respect in the development of morals. Fourth, one of the major tenets of Confucianism is the fourth point. Doing one's best is the original meaning, and it also has other connotations like selflessness, loyalty to others, allegiance to the one's nation, and loyalty to the monarch. Sincerity and loyalty extend not just to an emperor, but also to one's friends and other people. It eventually turned into the one's cited moral requirement for subjects to submit completely the sovereign with loyalty being seen as a virtue and a force for preserving the stability of the state authority. True is the fifth point. It means the forgiveness. In other words, we don't do we won't do to others what we don't want others to do for us. The last one is E. E, which denotes formality and power as well as the foundation of the virtue, ethic principle, and legitimate. It also denotes the justifiable course or course of action. E is another is also the essence of what it is to be human, the core the cornerstone of the success and the essence of management. That's all of the six heritage concepts. Next is three key ideas of governance. The first is stronger. This literally means the middle kingdom. The name also suggests the paradigm of the superiority of the self-reliance. We can understand this best by looking at China's geography. The next one is mandate of heaven. The first great dynasty to rule China was the Shang dynasty. The Shang dynasty ruled China from approximately 1070 BC and 700 BC until around 1000 BC. The Shang dynasty was eventually overthrown by an individual named Wu, who established the Zhou dynasty. This new dynasty would rule China for the next 8 centuries. The performance standard instituted during the Zhou dynasty, the Chinese people believed that their rulers could rule because they had a mandate from heaven. The emperor or dynasty decided to have a mandate when they do well. and lost mandate when they won't. In other words, the rulers will remain in his rule as long as they can practice justice, effective, efficient governance, and management style. Therefore, so long as they remain their mandate, they could continue to rule the empire. However, if this mandate was used due the poor crops or loses in battle, then the right to rule could be given to a new dynasty. This is what we mean by mandate of heaven. The last one is dynastic circle. To begin with, the new ruler unites the land and founds a new dynasty. Then the kingdom achieves the prosperity and a new golden age. Then the dynasty begins to decay and the empire declines. The war begins to rage across the land over discontent and dissatisfaction in the empire's rule. At last, the dynasty loses and the mandate of heaven. Their legitimacy to rule and is overthrown by red line.
Hello everyone, my name is Sun and my metric number is 213699. As we all know, China is an ancient country with a glorious civilization. Next, I will talk about Chinese regional and history. On the one hand, about the regional, word of the Yellow River is the north growth center of an ancient civilization. Cassava is the representative of the traditional thinking of civilization in the north. Water, Changjiang is the center of ancient civilization in the southern growth. Daoism's traditional thinking is representative of the civilization in the southern. Word are Qing and Zhou in Chaozhou. Qing word is symbol of royal power and the country's critical equipment, which is a symbol of royal power, should be the country extended Qing, which changes hands in if the country lost. The Chuhou cannot have Qing and cannot be side-heavy, light, or large middle Qing. Manufacturing Qing, Xia dynasty began in the country as important equipment. The concept of Zhao is one of the most respected figure in ancient Chinese society. And this figure with the number 5 codes for 95 the shield honor and glory to the king. Word's honor 95 is intended as the king. Concept 5 way is easily expanded to 9 directions. 5 way is meant east, west, south, north, and center. 赵凡, besides from east, west, south, north, and central, plus 4 more sections. On the other hand, I will introduce the origin and background of Chinese history. Water of the Yellow River is a growth center of ancient civilization in the north. The civilization of ancient China first development in the Yellow River region of North China in the 3rd and 2nd millennium BC. This is a very fertile region. However, the land needs irrigation to make the crops grow, and will build river embankments to prevent catastrophic flooding. This region is regarded as the cradle of China's civilization. It was here that the earliest Chinese dynasties were based. Throughout the ancient period of China's history, it formed the heart of the Chinese world, and it was from here that Chinese civilization spread out across the rest of China. The Yangshan culture was a Neolithic culture that existed extensively along the valleys of the Wei River and the Middle Yellow River in northern China. The Yangshan culture is dates from around 5000 BCE to 3000 BCE, and is one of the earliest style cultures in China. It's named after Yangshan, the first excavated representative village of this culture, which was discovered in 1921 the Henan province. The Yangshan showed the first evidence of food production in China. The Longshan culture flourished in part of that Neolithic northeast China during the 3rd millennium BCE and were an important link in the development of Chinese civilization from the independent Neolithic communities to the first dynasty state. The culture is named after Longshan state in Shandong province, but it is also sometimes called the Black Pottery culture after the distinctive pottery well race is productive. Human dividing themselves the man savage and the human civilization. The divide is history into two levels: community and institutive primitive civilization. Researchers to revert to theoretical aspects of the agricultural revolutionary theory and the theory of urbanization of the culture. After the birth of agriculture, there will be a village. From village to grow to urbanization, that give birth culture. And urbanization is one of the earliest cultures. Urbanization in countries come from agriculture, and I learned about the history of agriculture. First of all, before the invention of agriculture, because there were still very few people at that time, food and fruit supplies were plentiful, so people did not need farming. The case of the third primitive man, the work of picking fruit is an easy task, and there is no need to cultivate with energy. In the fourth primitive social period, men were responsible for hunting, while women were picking wild fruits. They worked for their own food. Finally, the livestock enterprises are expanded with agriculture. They will hunt and can breed wild game. Thank you.
In the world's ancient civilization, there are many monocultures, there are multicultures in all their aspects. As visiting multiculture, there is a monoculture. In primitive times, man had personality and nature. If we compare these two properties, we will get a clear picture of their nature and importance. They depend on their environment, contributing directly to objects in the universe. The basic problems of life, like primitive man around the river, their diet was mainly fish. Change in marriage patterns have produced similar change in history. Agriculture revolution, race, state, and personal property system. And next, I'm introduce Chinese fairy tales. History is a human invention, but the people who makes it think about history. Corrective service is in name of God. In primitive Chinese thought, the world was divided into two parts. Namely, the world had a God world. Between the power of God and the power of man, the yellow emperor was a father of China. Innate pride is strong in China. A dynasty needs an idea of the event because for the reason of running the dynasty. Retirement from the doom is an ideal means of delivery. Confections organized flow in an ideal society based on mere norms. The key in education lies in normal education of a government state. For example, moral is like the wind. A moral leader is like the grass. Where does it fall on grass? The wind. If the government enforces rulers correctly, others will not dare to follow his rulers. Inside, anyone can rule by principle, so many people come to help, and he without the true of principle, few more people come to help. This shows the importance of the relationship between kings and the princess, the government and the ruling elite.